Hi, everyone. I'm sorry that I am not able to be at school again with you today. Um, I'm missing all of you and look forward to seeing you somewhat soon. Hopefully, I will be able to teach live to all of you on Thursday and Friday towards the end of this week, depending on how I'm feeling. But today you are going to be in good hands and you're going to um, continue to learn more about the impacts and the spread of the Renaissance. So, I'm just going to walk you through what you're going to be focusing on today. You'll notice that in Google Classroom, there's a new assignment that is posted for you, the Renaissance City and Population Activity. There are quite a few links here for you and some directions for you in here. So you just want to make sure that you are going through everything and reading things carefully for what you need to do. First of all, you are going to get a sheet that looks like this passed out to you. One of my classes received this already, so if you already got this sheet, just please make sure you let the teacher know that you don't need a copy of this. The others of you, you will get this handed out to you. I did make one change on the document that will look a little bit different than what you have in class. And basically, what it is you are going to have a paper copy of a map that is going to get passed out to you versus a digital format. On your sheet, I think it says a Jamboard, but you're going to get a paper copy handed out to you of a map of Europe. And what you're going to do is you are going to complete the following steps for every single city. There are 8 total cities, and there's going to be activities to do for each city. So if we look at the directions here, it says to look at the paper copy and read over the directions. First of all, what you're going to do is you're going to label each of the 8 cities on the paper map given to you in class. You can use this attached link here for you if you don't remember where these cities are, which I'm sure you'll probably need to cross-reference some of them, okay? What I want you to do is make sure that you use a star, just like you would see in front of these capital cities. So for example, the first city is London. So then on your map, you are going to put a star approximately near where the city of London is, and then write London. Oopsie. And then you would look at the next one, and it's Paris. So if you don't remember where Paris is located, take a look at the map here. You can see the general vicinity of where it is in approximation to the English Channel there, and you would label Paris, and so on and so forth for the cities on the front side. And then we have some on the back side as well. So once you're done labeling the last city of Lisbon, then you're going to go on to step number 3. Well, that is supposed to be a 3, but there's a mistake there. I'll fix that. So the next step then is to figure out the geographical clue for each city on your sheet and then write down the answer. Notice I gave you a little hint. There's going to be 6 rivers and 1 sea. So what that means is, if you look at your sheet in front of you, there's a geographical clue. The first one says that this river flows eastward through England and passes through London and empties into the North Sea. So I'm trying to find a river that goes through England, goes through London, and empties into the North Sea. So if I can't exactly remember what rivers are where, what you might want to do is you could take a look at an atlas of major rivers in Europe. You can click on some of them here. You could look at the like an atlas of a map of Europe, and you could figure out the different rivers that are in each country and each city that it's talking about. So, for example, if this one is telling me that it's a river that's going to go through London, I'd look at a map and I'd look at which river kind of goes through England eastward, and I'm going to discover which river it is. You can then write down the name of the river on here after you're looking at a map. And, I'll probably just put another map on this assignment here, physical features of Europe map. And let's just see, for example, if this one will help us. Okay, well, I'll look for another map that I can post. Otherwise, you guys can use the different maps that are linked here, and you can look at the different rivers. This will definitely help you. This is going to cover a lot of the rivers that are going to be the answers on your sheet here. So then you'd write down the name of the river. You go through and you do that for each of the cities. There's a geographical clue. There's 6 rivers and 1 sea. After you're done with that, then what you're going to do according to the directions, it says that you need to draw and label the geographical clue for each city. So once I figure out what it is, and I'm going to draw it on my map and I want to label it, you don't need to color code it or make a key or anything like that. Just simply draw on the river, and then you can draw an arrow to label this to the river, or just write it near it so that I know which river is which. You'll notice that you're given points for each time that you do this for each city. So labeling each city is 1 point, drawing the geographical feature and labeling it is going to be 2 points. For the one that's the sea, all you have to do is label it correctly. Obviously, you can't really draw in a sea, so you can just label it in the correct area. After you have finished with the labeling and the drawing, then what you're going to need to do next is you are going to need to go into the assignment here, and you are going to need to create a Google spreadsheet for each of the cities that you have here to represent the data on this sheet. So you'll notice that there is years, and then there's population. So we're going to be looking at the trend in the population for each of these cities throughout the time period of the Renaissance from 1300 to 1600. Okay, so what you're going to do in the assignment then is you are going to go into the Google Sheets here, and there's a copy created for each one of you. Please make sure that you follow the directions. It's pretty easy rather than having you create graphs and things like Mr. Beck does. I'm making this pretty easy for you. Go to the tab with the city name on the bottom of the screen. So right here you see London, England. Then it says to click and drag the mouse to highlight all of the data on the sheet. Then click Insert and then Chart, and your line graph will be created for you. So I've gone to, see, this one was already done. So what I've done here is I've got this one for London, England. I'm going to highlight, so click and drag the data. Then I'm going to go Insert, Chart, and voila, the line diagram is created. The line graph is created, and you can move it so that it looks neat on there, and everything's created for you. So you actually don't have to do any of the plotting of the points. You just have to click, and you have to highlight and click Insert Chart. You have to make sure you do that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So don't forget to scroll over. 6 and 7 for all 7 cities. You are given a point for each city that you do that for then, okay? So that is the next step on your sheet here is doing the Google Sheet. Finally, there are some questions here for you on a Google form relating to the data. So looking at the data and analyzing it and then answering some questions. And you'll notice that some of the questions are open-ended. Some of them do have correct answers. So most of these have correct answers. So that'll tell you if you got them right or wrong. This one is open-ended. So I'm going to need to go back in and grade that. And then this is worth a total of 8 points because there's 8 questions. So even if it tells you you got 7 out of 8, doesn't mean you got this one wrong. I need to go back and I need to correct it. So then basically what you'll end up having here is you're going to turn in on Thursday. You're going to turn for my A-day kids. B-day kids will be Friday, and daily kids will be Thursday as well. So on Thursday when you come to class, then you're going to turn this sheet in along with your map. You'll staple those two things together and put them in the basket. And then I will be able to look at your questions online. I will be able to look through the Google form here. I will also be able to look at your graphs online. The only thing that I'll need to take a look at then from you is the map and making sure that you've got the correct cities and geographical features and things labeled on that map. So, hopefully, this was helpful and you are successful with this. If you have any questions, just let me know. If you finish this in class for either A-day or B-day kids, you can then work on the Leonardo da Vinci Kids Discover questions if you didn't finish those on Monday. My daily students, you will have both Tuesday and Wednesday to complete this activity. So please don't worry about finishing it all on Tuesday for my daily kids. I hope you guys are doing well. I miss you. And if you have any questions, you can just shoot me an email. Take care.